hello. If you want to see the vintage swimsuit that I'm wearing, stick with me till the end. So these are the patterns. They're inspired by 1940s swimsuits. And I was going to thrift flip a couple of these previously owned shirts that I found on eBay. With the skirt, it was pretty straightforward. I just had to, utilize the parts of the shirts that had the majority of the fabric, which was the body of the shirt. I would also have plenty of scraps left over for any piecing that I had to do. Unlike the original shirt, which I'm confused, this trend where using the wrong side of the fabric as the right side of the fabric, I've never quite understood that trend. Maybe it's the brain injury, or maybe I don't know. I don't understand it. But the wrong side of the fabric on this particular fabric didn't even look good anyway. So, well, in my opinion. Anyway, so I'm using the right side of the fabric. With some fabrics, it does not matter. You cannot even tell what is the right side and what is the wrong side. But with a cotton like this, it was pretty apparent. So anyway, that is the wrong side of the fabric, and this is the seam finish I'm pressing. I'm a fangirl. I like various different superheroes, Batman included. And this print kind of epitomized the best of two different worlds, because during the 1940s and the 1930s, island prints were in vogue, especially in the warmer states like California, which is where I live, Northern California. And trust me, it is like a different state. Here's an example of why pressing is so important. The rippling that you see here can easily be remedied just by pressing. Pressing helps to ease the stitches into the fabric. Having lived in California all of my life, I grew up with hearing about how we were in a drought. So it's always nice when we have a nice, long, rainy season with a good snowpack, which is very important. We don't have very many dams in this state, so utilizing that water is difficult. We depend on the gradual release of the water from the snow in the mountains to keep everything watered down in the valleys, where California is an agricultural state. A lot of the nation's food production comes from California. When you hear the state name California, the first thing that comes to your mind may be bottle blondes and Hollywood, coastal living, and national parks like Yosemite. But it's also a very Aggie state. Because my home state is such a dry state for so much of the year, so many years in a row, we do a lot of our recreation out of doors. And I have been wanting to take up skating again for ages, since the surgery. If you were a child in the 80s like I was, you might have gone to a roller skate rink. And I did. My mom even got me lessons. But when I started having seizures, I could no longer pursue a career as a roller skating queen. I'm not a spring chicken anymore, but I'm by no means old. So as the box says, it was definitely time. I am trying on my skates. I measured my foot just the way they told me to on the website. But I was still in some doubt that they would actually fit, so score. You can face a lot of judgment when you start skating at an older age. While no one wants to fall, I had taken all the precautions. I had pads and safety equipment. I was also glad that I didn't have to purchase a helmet, because I still had mine from when I used to use it skiing years ago. Just FYI, the brain surgery was 20 years ago. I was not trying to ski while I still had seizures. Skiing was one of the many things that I had always wanted to do but never got to because of seizures. My core strength and fitness level was decent, so I was going to give this a try again. But I have no delusions. It wasn't like riding a bike. I have to learn to skate all over again. I also wasn't going to be immodest and think that I could do cool jumps and things like that I'd seen on social media, sites like Instagram. No, I only wanted to grow my skills and casually skate. Something they call mindful skating. Something that's totally attainable for me. In these last few video clips, you've seen me taking apart one of the shirts. I had decided rather than to use the pattern that I was just gonna use what was there. Just turn it inside out or right side out, whatever. I was just going to modify it a little. Just FYI, this clip is sped up just a little. I'm not that good yet. But as you can see, I'm totally geared up with all my safety equipment and my balancing pole. I decided, since I didn't have very much of this fabric left, that I would just use the last shirt that I had, which was a size small, and just turn it right side out. So I'm removing all the buttons so I can, modify it. I had to make it a bit shorter, crop it a little, shorten the sleeves, etc. So it wouldn't have a tie front, but it would still be cute. And more importantly, right side out. I don't know, I think my broken brain gets a little fixated on these things. It is a pet peeve of mine, having a garment that is wrong side out, and made that way intentionally. I was turning the sleeve up here, making it shorter. I wanted something that looked more like cap sleeves, but I had to work with this sleeve, set-in sleeve thing that I had here, so I was just going to shorten it up a little. I was going to make a regular shirt collar from scratch out of the fabric that, the scraps I had. But I decided once I saw how this collar looked when I picked it apart, it looked almost like a mandarin collar. So I decided to use a trim to cover that up that had an oriental flavor to it. But when I went to look for it in my stash, I did not find it. So while picking up a curbside order, I went to Joann's. And while I was in town, I got a burger for lunch, and my dog was happy to share it with me. He's older and only has 2 teeth left, and they aren't even opposing. So I do treat him when I know it's something that won't make him sick. So here's the trim that I thought I already had, but I guess I didn't. So anyway, at least it wasn't a wasted trip down to town. I was going to put 2 frogs on this, but the ones at Joann's were sad looking, so I just used the one I already had. This project had taken a little while, so I was happy that it was done. So if anybody is interested, this is how many zucchini loaves I have made this season so far. And a little sneak peek at my next project. Not that I need another apron, but I had this epic patch that I wanted to use on one. So here it is, a completed retro swimsuit outfit, and it is right side out, very important. But I know what you're thinking. Are you going to wear this on more than one occasion? Well, as it happens, it's a pretty cute skating outfit. So once I get really good, I can go somewhere and skate in it. Call me chronically Californian, but that's okay, because this is my home. It was breezy out the lake and my hair went frizzy all of a sudden, but it was a beautiful day. And yes, that is a fire scar on the other side of the lake behind me. From the King Fire. Very scary. Told ya. Thanks for watching till the end. And if you like this video, please hit the like button. And if you like this kind of content, please feel free to subscribe to my channel. I try to post at least twice a month this kind of vintagey sewing and cosplay content. My hair is all flying away from me now. I often like to film my reveals in scenic locations. So if you like to see California's lakes at its fullest, which is great. It's nice for a change to have a full lake. Then feel free to stick around my channel and subscribe. Anyway, I forgot sunscreen, so I'm going to get in the shade. This is Mountain June saying bye now.
I gotta give him a treat.
Yes.
After all that, I can't just not give him a treat. Because you're a good boy.
Yes.
There we go. There's no crumbs.
No.
What are you gonna do?
Jimmy. No. Jimmy. No.
Jimmy.
Come here, Jimmy. Now. Get over here.
He was just saying hi.
Yeah, I didn't want him to get you dirty though.